how my country looks. And I'm not pleased. But we have done quite a bit. In fact, we have done more than the previous government. We have repainted the NSWA with over 100 new vehicles, including tipper trucks and crane trucks. And we have more trucks coming. But that is not going to be the major solution for keeping our country clean. In our next term, we will start by engaging a public-private partnership with the private sector to increase the number of garbage collection units that we have. Processes in place, including the dissolution of Parliament. I now declare that nomination day will be Monday, August 18th. Local government by-elections in the Chancery Hall Division, the Olympic Gardens Division, the Seabright Gardens Division, and the Denham Division will face this concurrently with the general election in those
Prime Minister. Big up that.
Moderator. When it comes to education, there are three segments of conversation that must be had. The one that is most noticed is the child or children with disabilities. However, one must also consider children with parents with disabilities. And one must also consider the circumstances that a child may face when they develop disabilities while they were not necessarily born. Let's start with the children with parents that have a disability, because that has many impact. For example, on early access to education. Because of the transport impact, you will find that many persons with a need to assist their child to school, having disability, in particular physical disabilities, don't have that ease of access to taking that child to school. It has often led, therefore, to the child being delayed in early exposure, and by extension, often underperforming, though they themselves have no disability. The leader spoke to the reality that some parents with children with disability find it difficult to re-enter into the work world. And that difficulty calls for affording a reasonable life, a reasonable living standard to be difficult. It has caused for malnourishment among children. It has caused for other impacts such as limited attendance to school. And therefore, we must engage these parents and seek to find what we call home employment or home business opportunities, so that those children born without a disability don't over time develop inadequacies due to the inability to afford the necessities of nutrition, medicine, and natural health care, which have come with a cost. We have therefore moved to those children that have a disability. And I think we underestimate the real power of our motto, out of many one. We seem to think that it is based on race. But out of many one can be extended also to the able and the disabled. It can be extended to the rural and the urban, because out of many the experience should be similar. To that extent, we have to, as was indicated by the wonderful spokesperson and future person with responsibility for disabilities, is that we must ensure that there is ample testing so that we can diagnose the issue early and start early intervention. That doesn't exist at this point because we only have 2 testing centers, and that is as recent as 2 years ago. We only have 1 testing center. It has led to a waiting period of up to 4 years, which is 1/3 of the period of time that you're likely to be in school. And so the person to be tested in 1 grade often don't achieve testing until they're in 5th grade. And then they only have another 7 years of school. And so that is an unacceptable situation. We therefore intend to expand testing to our 7 regions and hopefully eventually to our 14 parishes. And the 7 regions to achieve that goal, firstly is to incorporate some of our partners, international partners, because some of the skill sets for testing are not here in the abundance necessary to utilize. We have had conversations with some international ambassadors about extending some of their expertise, but then to give scholarships to locals so that we can build out that expertise and engage in that testing. The second thing is to expand the shadows that we have in school to ensure that we can incorporate those children that we have in our schools. And to aggressively expand physical access through ramps, but not just through ramps, through bathrooms. I've often heard the conversation of multiple ramps, but if you don't have a disabled specific bathroom, then you find that there is additional and extensive difficulties. I welcome the conversation about having a special disability fund, because that can also help with ensuring books are available, technology available, and also transportation methods and mechanisms are available. We have already indicated that we will assist persons through our RIDE program to get to school. We assist persons through our food program to have 56% to receive lunch, and not a segregated line through our part lunch, but the same quality of lunch with a $400 commitment. And we are also committing to dramatically increase from 18% having 5 subjects eventually to 80%. And that will include all Jamaicans, so no one, including the disabled, can be left behind. I end by acknowledging one of my inspirations, an individual who came to the university with us. Virgin, I see you sitting there, and I want you to just get up and wave to the crowd as a man on Taylor Hall and my personal block. Not fly this time, everybody knows fly. The great. And I hope that he can be an example as a man who was also incorporated in the extracurricular as far as blind music, and also a big domino player. So we love you, and we look forward to working with you and supporting the disabled in this engagement. Out of many, 1 hand.
Crispin here. I'm going
Let them guys well. You're the person who can't get the lesson.
Yes, can't get it. I need to leave Sunday. Keep come.
Watch your shoe there. Watch your left. Watch your right. All right. It's a goal. Sir, yeah. I know you had sent me something, but I put in an exploratory thing. I don't know, I don't get through it, so I don't know what's happening. Through election, we can't focus on them military thing right now. I tell the truth. Everybody I rush me like it's the normal time, but it's not normal time right now. Sir, I did put in a work, not in my own law practice. So I would suggest that you should help with that. I know they were asking what's the serve for past the time. I don't really know, but
Yeah.